Today we'll be talking about the history of Halloween. We'll be talking about some different traditions and different candies that people eat, having a little bit of a debate about that, and also telling some spooky stories.
Oh yeah, so let's get right into it.
Yeah. All right, old man, can you tell us a little bit about the history of Halloween, since, you've been around since it started, right?
Yeah, well, it was a tradition that we got started in the year 609 when I was a young lad. It was to honor the dead, and that's a tradition that's very near and dear to my heart, especially because, before long, that'll be a day to celebrate me as well. Perhaps by the end of this episode. So.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it would be kind of, and it's Halloween, of course, so it would be right around your holiday, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I guess you're highlighting it as a good thing?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, well. And you said 609, not 1609, correct?
The year 609.
And you were a young lad in 609.
Well, yes.
Where did you live at that time? If you're going to say the United States of America, then I'm really going to question you.
No, lived in Rome.
Rome. How was Rome like back in 1609?
Oh.
Or 609, excuse me.
Well, I was pretty well off, so it was nice. Good family.
That's good.
Yeah.
Apparently they had some really good genes.
Oh, yes. My father lived to be very old.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How old?
God rest his soul. What was it now? 102? Yes.
102. And you've lived to be over 1,400 years old.
Would it be now? I believe so.
There's a calendar, right, if you need to use it.
Oh, well, I've struggled adjusting to these newfangled calendars.
Yeah, they're very confusing. If you hit the wrong button, then you end up in a whole different century.
Calendar button?
What?
Shirts have buttons. Calendars have no buttons. What's this buttoning calendar that you speak of?
Well, there's buttons on the keyboard, right? Right in front of you.
Those are keys.
What was that? Did you just see that, Isaac?
What?
There was something over here. There was like an arm that reached out to grab me.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, God.
Anything else you can tell us about the history of Halloween?
Oh, well, yes. It's to celebrate the dead, and it's part of a very 3-day thing. So, starts with now October 31st, that is on the newfangled Gregorian calendar. What is now October 31st, All Saints Eve, or Wednesday. Going into the following day, which is All Saints Day celebration of the dead, those that have gone on before us. And the following day is All Souls Day, which is a little bit different, as you might imagine. But yeah, we got that started when I was little.
Anything else you want to go on about the history of Halloween?
We had guys, and when I was a kid in the town, they would go out into the cornfield with these clubs, call rodent. Yes. And we would have those for dinner.
Not sure what they're called. All I heard was rodent and dinner, and I got very confused at that
point. I haven't seen one in a very long time. You know, they may be extinct.
Dinosaurs?
Oh, yes, that's what we called them. Yes.
Dinosaurs. And you called them a rodent, and you ate them for your dinner.
Oh, they were delicious, but only on Halloween.
Only on Halloween.
Yes.
It's very interesting. They would only be delicious on Halloween.
All Saints Eve, or they later call it All Hallows Eve. Yes, that was the day dedicated to eating these things.
Huh.
My favorite feast day.
I have never heard of anybody eating dinosaurs. That's interesting. I'll have to try it sometime if they ever come back. But until then, I guess I'm just missing out.
Oh, you are.
Man. This is what they always told me. Is that it was, better in the olden days. I guess that's what they were talking about. In the olden days, you got to eat dinosaurs for dinner. What was better than that? Well, have any good ghost stories for us?
No.
I mean, surely over 1,400 years, you've ran into some spooky things along the way.
Well, I do believe I'll soon be one myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you start talking about eating dinosaurs, I mean, that's scary enough in itself. Not the Halloween kind of scary, but, just scary in general, if you know what I'm talking about.
What are you saying about me, boy?
Well, I'm just saying, to a lot of people that live today, eating dinosaurs would sound very unusual. It would sound like a behavior that most people probably wouldn't do normally, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, well. Some people, they just lose it, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, boy. Can't imagine being like that.
Yeah. Well, I guess I've got a bit of a ghost story for you, a bit of a spooky tale.
Okay.
There was these hikers that were hiking in the Appalachian Mountains. And then all of a sudden, it started getting really, really dark. Fog started rolling in. Temperatures started to drop. And everybody started to disappear, except for the two hikers that were roaming through the woods, all by themselves. There was total darkness upon them for about 3 to 5 minutes, and that's when the fog rolled in. They tripped because they couldn't find their way, and they fell. And all of a sudden, they took this really big tumble down a hill that was within the Appalachians. And they woke up about an hour later, and everything was warm and sunny again, and the fog was gone. It was a bright and sunny day. What I find to be really scary is, how did it only go dark for a few minutes? How did that happen? I mean, it doesn't just, on an average day, it does not just go dark for 3 to 5 minutes and then just get bright and sunny again. So the two hikers, they were absolutely amazed by this. And so they reported it to the news. And the news told them, well, I think you two must be mistaken. It wasn't dark because of anything spooky. It was just a total solar eclipse. I guess they didn't know about it. They didn't hear about the eclipse that was going on. The reason it got dark is It's because the eclipse. They went on that entire day without realizing that that's what it was during this whole event. When the news guys told them this news, they questioned them. They were like, what's an eclipse? The news people started going on about how it's, the total solar eclipse, about how darkness comes upon the earth as the moon passes between the sun to where it blocks the sunlight. But the scariest part of this entire story is, they said, the two hikers, how could that have been possible, as there was no sun? And so then, the news guys found out the two hiker men, they were really just robots that had just lost their way. They were a part of a computer, a little science experiment that they were doing with these robots. And they escaped. They always say that robots are going to take over the world. I think that's what they meant by it. And that's the tale of how the two hikers, who were really robots, didn't know that there was a solar eclipse. How spooky of a tale was that, Isaac?
Huh? Oh, yes.
It was a really good tale, right?
Yeah. Well done, my good fellow.
What was your favorite part about the story I just told?
The snap is life.
Not really sure how that relates to the story, but okay. Any stories that you have for us?
Well, let's see. Oh, yes. Oh, this morning I was having cornflakes, and my wife Melinda, she looked out the window over yonder, and she said, "Well, newfangled robots." She thought they were a robot like those things you were talking about.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, wasn't no darn robot. That was one of those lawn vacuum thingamajigs. Lawn vacuum?
Not entirely sure I know what you're talking about.
The vacuum one.
The vacuum one. A lawnmower?
Ah, yes, lawnmower.
Oh, a lawnmower, okay. She thought they were robots taking over the world.
Yeah.
Has she not ever seen a lawnmower?
Well, if she has, I don't know. I'm no wonder about Melinda. She's not over there anymore.
Yeah?
You know. But yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I take it by the way you're talking that you guys are having a race.
Melinda and I,
Yeah.
race to the grave. Sure.
That's really what's going on here?
Yeah. Can you help me out?
I mean, I know somebody who might be able to help us out over there, but
Well, if anyone could help me, I wish I could beat Melinda.
And living the longest?
Well,
You want to live the longest, right? You want to outlive everybody. I mean, so far you've
I've
pretty
already
much
outlived too many people.
too many people.
Yeah. What's the point anymore?
I don't know. You gotta set a world record. Or let me guess, you've already done that, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah. There's Guinness World Record. They won't get out of my mailbox. I tell them, get off my lawn. They don't listen. They come back every year.
Well, I would say that's probably because you keep breaking your own record.
Bloody picture frame.
Um,
So many of those dang picture frames from Guinness.
Doesn't that kind of make you a little bit famous? The fact that you keep breaking the Guinness World Records?
Well, I'd like to break the bloody picture frame over his head.
Why would you want to do that?
Because he won't shut up.
Well, there you have it. Isaac is mad at the Guinness World Record book people. They keep trying to take his picture.
Oh. You're not one of those photography people, are you?
Well, now that you mention that, I might just have to go ahead and, take a picture right now myself.
Please no flash.
What, does the flash bother you?
Brings back memories.
Oh yeah? What sort of memories are those?
I don't know, they haven't been brought back.
Oh. Is there any way we can get them back, you think? Because those would be really great for this episode of our podcast.
There is one way, but it's kind of painful. But I suppose for the podcast, you know what to do. Yeah.
So you're going to give us that story?
Oh, they're flash bulbs.
Flash bulbs.
When they first came around.
Talking about like the lights?
They caught on fire.
Hmm.
Some of my children. They were so scared. Every time I see that flash.
Talking about lightning? They got struck by lightning.
Is that what they call
Well, and there's this big bolt of electricity that comes down in the middle of like a heavy rainstorm.
it? Oh, I know that kid. No lightning, but I remember that kid, Benny. Ben Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
He had a blast playing with those.
Yeah. He certainly is very notable for that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're giving us more history than what I thought you were going to give us.
Get off my lawn.
He wasn't?
No.
Well.
I was saying something about the blast of lightning.
I don't know why I would have ever said that.
I don't know.
Alright, well, let's see. Let's go ahead and get into some of the traditions with Halloween. So, obviously the traditions that I have for Halloween definitely have not been around as long as the traditions that you have. You want to tell us about some of your 1,400-year-old traditions?
Oh, there's the dinosaur thing.
Okay, so we have the dinosaur.
That's what you call them.
Alright, yeah, that's what they're called, dinosaurs.
Is it?
Any other traditions that you guys had?
Well, after dinner we would carve the bones into furniture.
Oh. Wait a second. Is the desk right here? Is that
Make a little display.
Is that from dinosaurs?
Yeah. We made this for my Halloween deal when I was a kid.
Oh, really? This desk that's underneath this?
Yeah.
Alright. That's great. So this desk came from a dinosaur. to meet a dinosaur. I never knew it'd be like this.
Well, you can ask him yourself.
Okay. Wait, how?
You just ask him.
I mean, if he was actually still alive.
Don't play dumb with me, boy. Just ask him.
Ask the desk a question. Because it's a dinosaur. It's made out of a dinosaur. You're telling me you want me to ask the desk a question?
Oh, would you get a load of this? Kids these days.
Okay. Well, I guess, desk, if you can hear me, I really wish that you weren't still extinct, so that I would be able to make new furniture out of dinosaur bones.
That attitude you don't.
Thank you very much for your time, desk. Is that a little bit better? Thinking it?
No. You offended him.
What? How did I offend him? How is asking the desk a question? You just said that asking him a question would make a difference.
Something like that.
See. Yeah. I wonder why that is. Well, any other traditions that you have? What did you do after you carved furniture out of the dinosaur bones?
Oh. And where'd my hat go?
Hat? I didn't think you were wearing a hat.
It was just here.
Oh. Well, Isaac, I guess we better let you get back to, or get to finding your hat.
Well, yes, I suppose I'd better.
Alright, well, I guess we'll go ahead and finish things off here. So, just so that you're aware, our next episode here on GWP is going to be next Tuesday. We're going to do an Election Day episode for our next episode, and so hope to see you then. For now, Jacob Fulmer signing off.
Yes, God save the king. Till next
Not
time.
that kind of an election, Isaac. That's not how it works.
Well, till next time, I'm Isaac Hedges, host of the Great World Podcast. Signing off. Until next time. From all of us at the Great World Podcast and GWP International, good night and God bless.